Alright, welcome back to another Art of War 3 replay. I'm your host, John Cena, and today we're going to be doing a clan 2v2 battle. I'm going to be the green player, and my ally is going to be none other than Kinezul. He'll be the blue player. Kinezul is a very solid player who has taken down multiple medalists before, and he has his own YouTube channel, so go ahead and check out that channel for some more Art of War 3 content. So let's get into it. We're going to be facing off against two resistance players here. The red player is going to be a rank 18 resistance player, and the yellow player is going to be a rank 16 player. Now the rank 16 player is from the Vietnam HD clan and has 5 medals to their name, so we know that the yellow player is most likely not going to be a joke at all. This may be a solid matchup. We will see as the battle unfolds. So we got some light harassment coming in from the red player. Looks like some riflemen and a coyote coming in. Meanwhile, we see yellow player continuing to put down some infrastructure. Kinezul's got his first delta out. He's going to go ahead and get some of that resource collection on the water. I had a scout hidden in the back of yellow's base. It's going to get cleaned up though. So meanwhile, Kinezul's got another delta out. He's producing a third one right now. This second delta is going to be used for resource collection and to clean up those riflemen. Kinezul's first delta is coming up on the red player's base and is going to go ahead and put some fire onto that barracks. So what's nice for this case is Kinezul's not only got some extra resources now for base development, but because he has naval control in this area, he'll be able to possibly launch a naval attack if he wants to on the red player's base. So he's got some options to work with. So meanwhile, I'm just continuing my base development. I'm going to go ahead and tech up to HQ3. My plan is to go for a ground army on this particular map since it's not that big. I don't want to risk doing aviation in case there's a lot of porcupines and my vertex don't have room to maneuver. So Kinezul just cleaned up another barracks from the red player's base. Some nice harassment happening. And Kinezul is actually going to get rid of the shipyard. So it looks like he's not going for a naval build. He's most likely going to go for a land build. So I let Kinezul know that I'm going to go for a land build, just so we're on the same page. Meanwhile, we got some scouting that's trying to happen and some scouting denial from the resistance players. And I'm continuing to gold boost here because I just want to make sure that I give myself the best possible chance in this particular matchup. Here comes the deltas though, back for some more harassment. They're going to take out another barracks from the red player. This is not looking good for the red player. Kinezul is now dealing damage onto that power plant and the coyote. Looks like the red player does not have a response yet. Red's going to need something soon or they're going to be in trouble. So it looks like red's a little bit slow on the tech development side and they're just starting to upgrade to HQ3. Meanwhile, I've got some good infrastructure down. I'm starting to produce units. Kinezul is continuing to harass with the delta. Looks like that delta's got some really good range, so Kinezul is most likely using a gold naval strike boost. So I've got a cyclone on the little cliff overhead. Let's see what yellow's up to. Yellow's got a couple of sniper towers and a porcupine for defense. We see a jaguar and we see a mammoth, and we see that the yellow player is HQ3 and is in full production mode. So anytime you see mammoths at HQ3, that tells us that we should anticipate some kind of mammoth rush. So meanwhile, Kinezul doing some harassment onto the red player's HQ. So he's got one delta firing onto the headquarters and his other deltas are defending it, and he's putting pressure on that red player, so forcing red to waste resources to respond while Kinezul builds up his army. Meanwhile, I've gone a Tech 3 level for the Assault Vehicle Factory, so I'm getting some Zeus out, and I'm going to be getting a Torrent out. Kinezul doing a very nice job maneuvering those deltas. Meanwhile, he's getting out his ground army. It looks like he's going to get some Torrents, Typhoons, and Zeus out. And we can see here that those deltas on that gold naval strike boost just continuing to put fire on that headquarters. Red's going to have to waste resources trying to defend and or repair the headquarters. So this is a great move from Kinezul. So I just flag it and I just let him know that his deltas have ridiculous range. Look at the range on those deltas. Absolutely absurd. It's great. Okay, so we're coming back here. Kinezul flags the HQ for the yellow player. just so we get reminded that they're only HQ3. And look at this, just as we anticipated, we got some mammoths firing onto my bunkers. Now, the proper way to respond to a mammoth rush is to do nothing and build up your army. Do not, I repeat, do not send your army in a panic to attack. And this is why. So I got a cyclone here to scout the cliff. We can see there are 4 jaguars deployed behind those mammoths. And if I send my units in haphazardly to try and kill those mammoths, they're just going to get shredded by those jaguars. So I'm just going to let the yellow player destroy my bunkers. I'm okay with that. Bunkers are relatively cheap. I'm just going to continue to build my ground army. So my ground army is going to go pretty heavy on the land side with Zeus and Torrents. And looks like my partner Kinezul is going to mark the map for the red player that he's going to launch an attack on the red player soon, and he wants me to distract the yellow player. So here's what we're going to do. I've got some hammers in production as well. The hammers are more for cannon fodder. I don't really care about keeping them alive. I just want them to draw out the porcupines, and here we go. Drawing out some of those porcupines. Now my torrents are going to deploy. I'm going to throw on a gold attack boost just so I can maximize damage and get that extra cell range. And that was some nice damage from those torrents. So I'm going to take some casualties here. You can see that the units that stray a little too far forward, they just get absolutely shredded by that defensive line. So we can counter this very easily. Mammoths have more range, but torrents have much more firepower. So we're going to move my torrents a little bit closer, and we're going to dish out a ton of damage onto that defensive line. Look at that rain of fire. Meanwhile, Kinezul is moving in onto the red player's base, and he's got a pretty big army here. He's got some Zeus, Torrents, and Typhoons. Now, I'm putting some good fire onto the yellow player's base. I'm just going to put pressure onto yellow while Kinezul does his thing. And here we go. Kinezul is into the heart of the red player's base. Red is in trouble. So this headquarters taking some heavy fire, and Red's going to lose their headquarters. Looks like they got a tier 3 assault vehicle factory with a Jaguar out, but that is not going to be enough. Kinezul's got a full army. Meanwhile, I'm continuing unit production on my side. I'm going to stay at HQ3 for this battle, just so I can continue to produce units. I just want to put pressure on yellow and keep them busy, because I can see here that Kinezul is almost done cleaning up red player's base. Look at that defensive line from the Jaguars. Red's got a lot of Jaguars and Mammoths lined up at the front entrance, so I don't necessarily want to send my army in if I don't have to, so I'm just going to wait it out. We can see here Kinezul doing a great job of just cleaning up the rest of this red player's base. And now Kinezul is going to move his army onto the plateau. I'm going to move my army a little bit farther forward. We can see that we're taking some fire from those Mammoths. And I'm going to just pull my Zeus back a little bit, deploy my Torrents. We're going to get some fire down, and I'm going to see if I can take out this sniper tower. So again, my role in this battle is not to level the base. I'm just keeping yellow busy, just distracting them, putting pressure on them, and making them feel like that they got to keep a full army at the front entrance. So now Kinezul is going to move into the back and deploy, and at this point the yellow player surrenders. Alright, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.